And I know that I'm somewhat of a minority here. I like wrestling matches, but I don't care for them from a technical perspective. Like, you can impress the hell out of me with your acrobatics and your spots and whatever. You can go to any...
That flippy shit.
Yeah, you can go to any indie show and you could see that, and it's fine to watch. It's fun, whatever. But it's not pro wrestling to me. To me, that's just acrobatics. Pro wrestling is when you add the storyline dynamic, and I think a lot of the problem with how Raw and a lot of the pay-per-view matches are nowadays is that the matches are really great from a technical point of view, but there's no storyline, there's no emotion, there's no characters, and there's no stakes, so I don't give a shit. Like, I can go watch matches of this quality anywhere, and that's really true. I went to an indie show a few years ago. It was NYWC, which is a fine little indie promotion, but one of my main criticisms where it's just a spot fest a lot of the time. There was this, I remember, fatal four-way match where the guys hit each other with their finishers like 10 times. I'm like, this is not good. And the crowd's like going nuts over there. It's like, this is awesome, holy shit. To me, it's like, no, this is stupid. Anyone could do this. Like, it's not hard to set this up. I'm not saying anyone could do it like I could do it. I can't do it, obviously, but I mean, the quality of wrestling is so high nowadays that I'm not impressed by it anymore. Like, everyone on the roster is pretty good. So that's not enough. You need to have something more. And that's why I kind of think that Dolph Ziggler, for one, is overrated. I think he's really good, but I don't see the character in him. I don't see the emotion from a character point of view. Like, the dude himself has a lot of passion, but he sees himself as a performer, and I don't care for that. I don't care for people who see themselves as performers, because if you want to perform, then wins and losses don't matter, because performance is about the quality of what you're doing. It's not about the story. Like, I want characters. I don't want performers. And
did you catch it on Monday Night Raw when they were talking about how Dolph Ziggler is the show stealer, and JBL was like, well, yeah, he can have the show. I want the championship.
I didn't
basically
catch
burying
that,
the
but
shit
that was
out of
a
him.
That's a very nice line. And I don't like this emphasis on "this is awesome" by the commentary. I don't care if the crowd does it, because that's the crowd's business, and sometimes it is fucking awesome. But I don't like when the commentary is like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome, Michael. This guy's fun to watch." Like,
put this on Sports Center, Michael.
Oh, if that isn't a death knell, that whole this guy is so fun to watch. Oh my god, I freaking hate when the commentators say that, because that's basically them saying, you go out there, do some fucking flips, and that's the extent of your usefulness. You'll never get anywhere in this business. You just, dance and entertain people, and that's it.
Yeah, and I hate it, and it's like, it's getting too self-aware. Like, I don't want the commentary to tell me that the match is awesome. The commentary should not give a shit if the match is awesome. Do you think JR gave a shit if the match is awesome? No. He gave a shit that one guy was beating the holy hell out of another guy, and this is brutal, and this is crazy, and look at the passion in this guy, and, all the character-driven stuff that he would highlight. The commentary of this team just goes, oh, look at this match, this is a classic, it's a WrestleMania moment, blah, blah, blah.
To me, Jim Ross was part of the story, and these guys are on the outside looking in. Like,
Absolutely.
They are, like, on the other side of a barrier, it feels like. That invisible ring barrier exists for the commentators, too, apparently.
That's such a good way of putting it. That's true. Yeah, Jim Ross was part of the story. These guys are just... They're basically, like, they're smart fans watching the show, almost. Mm-hmm. I mean, not really, because I feel like smart fans could probably do a better commentary job than these guys, given the right people. I mean, I couldn't, but I'm sure there are fans out there who would do an excellent job. But these guys are not, like, they're not part of the show. They're just like, this is awesome. And I remember Sasha Banks, after the Bayley match, I love what she did when she's like, you and I went out there and put on a great show, but I don't give a shit because I'm trying to win. Like, yeah, you should not be out there to put on a great show. I don't have any interest in Ziggler when his goal is to put on a great show. No, I don't give a shit if you steal the show. And I know that was Shawn Michaels' thing, but I think the difference was that Shawn Michaels didn't make that his goal. He didn't make stealing the show his goal. He made winning the goal, and then just out of the course of winning matches, he became...
Yeah, he stole the show in the process.
Right, and actually a lot of the time he didn't even win, and he stole the show, but that sort of came after the fact. Like, when you reflect on HBK, then you could see he's the show stealer, but Ziggler is like, I'm the show stealer, that's what I do, I steal the show. I don't care if you steal the show, I don't. But that's my little rant, and I completely agree with what was said by Disco Inferno.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with it as well, because I look at someone like Cesaro. I like Dolph Ziggler especially, and I always pick on Dolph Ziggler because it's kind of fun to do. But like I look at someone like Cesaro, like what is that guy's gimmick? Who the hell is Cesaro? And people go crazy for him because of what he can do in the ring, but that is like the extent of his character. He is nothing and no one beyond that. I actually went and did a little bit of research on Cesaro, trying to find out more about him and just his history and the things that he's done and all of this. And WWE actually used to talk about how he was a rugby player. And he got ejected from some European rugby league because he was too aggressive. And
that was his
I
gimmick
think
when he first came in.
Yeah, and they talked about how he was a part of the Swiss militia and things like that. When is the last time? I honestly want people to answer this question. When's the last time they talked about that with Cesaro?
Oh, 2012 probably.
What is Cesaro's character? Like, honestly, tell me.
Because if you remember, when he was U.S. champion, like, toward the end of his title run, when they were jobbing him like fucking crazy, then he started to become a yodeler and started, like, they completely morphed the overly aggressive rugby player, militia, tough guy, 5 different languages guy that he was in the beginning, and morphed him into some yodeling jobber. And then he drops the belt and then goes to nowhere land. And it's like, even when he's gotten like the little rubs that he's gotten, like in 14 with Paul Heyman and 15 with the matches with John Cena and everything, there was still no character development thrown in there. There was nothing that like actually did something to promote Cesaro any further. The reason he gets the reactions he gets is because he's amazing in the ring. And it's not to say that you can't get over by being amazing in the ring, because he's clear and obvious proof of that. But here's the thing. You aren't going to put those asses in those seats just because of ring ability. You're going to put those asses in those seats because you have a good story to tell, you have entertainment value in what you're doing. Because putting on a show, like, let's just say 3 hours of Raw was just like 7-8 matches, and every match had the flips and everything and all that stuff, and like that was a 3-hour Raw every single week. Would that not get really stale after a while? Because
that's only what we have now, Evan.
Well, I mean, it is to a certain extent, but I mean, there's a few extra things in there, like a shitty Divas match or segment, or a couple of things that don't make any sense, and a couple matches.
Variety is a spice of life.
Oh, it's a beautiful variety, and a 20-minute promo to kick off the night, that kind of stuff. But no, that's true. It is a lot of what Raw is right now. But imagine if that's what you get every single week, and like you're sitting there as a fan. How entertained are you by that? Like, again, I even said it earlier in this show, not even referencing this topic of discussion, when I said that there were several matches on Raw this week in the tournament that were actually pretty damn good, but I really felt bored with them, mainly because of the fact that the characters aren't interesting, and there's no emotional investment to be had. There isn't any. Like, Dolph Ziggler and The Miz are both solid wrestlers, and have put on very good matches over the course of time, because they've wrestled each other quite a bit. And this match here, not bad. But the reason why I had my hand on that remote ready to switch over to Monday Night Football was because I don't care about those guys. Not because I don't like them, I do like them, but I don't care about their characters. And why would I? Dolph Ziggler went from being a show-off or a showstopper to now being some like 80s hair metal hairband type of guy. And it's like, when did that transition even happen? Like, all of a sudden he's just like wearing like a leather jacket. It's like, or whatever the hell he has on. Like, it's like, what? When did this happen? Oh, wait, where's the explanation? Nowhere to be found.